Hello and welcome to November's energy forecast. I'm Lisa McCradle of Inner Wisdom Awakening. Welcome to November. So November is going to bring you a kind of refreshing sense of clarity. There's a sense of momentum. There was a retrograde series of several planets last month in October that have positioned, and everything's beginning to really move direct. It's also going to be a little bit chaotic and probably a little bit messy, because that's what we're doing here as we welcome in this new earth. Why would November be any different? But I do want to say that we kick off eclipse season, and it's a real turning point month. I'm going to go through the numerology, the astrology, and the three things you really get to, if you choose, embody, embrace, and behold, to make this month of November really work with you and to support you in this journey that we are all on as we deconstruct the old to rebirth the new. And what a journey we are on. So I'm sending so much love to your light. Together we rise. We are doing this. We got it. And November's here to support us. So let's dive in. Eclipse season is beginning, and we will be on a journey that's a little bit different than our eclipse seasons of the past, because they're going to be presented in different signs. It's a real enhancement, I want to say, to the evolutionary sequence that we're on as humans in this journey. And it's a real pivot. Like, the pivot is real. And however you've been feeling stagnant or held back or confused, as we're in deconstruction phases of life, and everyone's experiencing that now in their very unique way. As you're deconstructing everything, there is a pause before the new construction is revealed to you. So this is the pivot. It's bringing us to the landscape, if you will, turns from the outer expression, bringing you home to your inner expression, to your inner learning, personal development, spiritual growth, to your truth as a divine being of light. You get to wrap up, let loose end, and let it go, because you have to create space for the new. And that's what we're all doing collectively. So let's dive into the numerology. It is the 11 month. 11 is the number of mastery. It's a really potent number, this 11, and it brings a couple of number code sequences that we'll experience. I'll get to those in a moment. 11-1 being one of them. 11-11 portal is opening. So 11 really bringing you back to the mastery. It's mastering the inner plane. And it's also a 7 universal month. If you add the 11 to 2021, it gives you the number 7. The number 7 is the number of heaven, right? The numbers always show you who they are, what they mean, and how they roll. So 1, with the 1, the beginning of all things, the great creator, the one, the wholeness of the one, standing in the infinite light of the one in the mirror when we get the 11. And then 7, it goes across heaven straight to earth. So it brings that spiritually higher consciousness, the evolution of your highest self's wisdom right down through. I mean, you can think of it as coming across higher self, permeating straight down through the chakral system and bringing it to the delivery system through you to earth itself, right? So number 7 is the number of heaven to earth. It's time to slow your roll down. It's time to stop reaching outside and start remembering inside, remembering what is true for you. And asking yourself some really significant questions. Does your outer expression match your inner landscape? Are you living what you desire? Are you living in a way that is in alignment with who you want to be? Do your words and your desires match your deeds and your expression? And it's kind of a no BS time. You no longer can be in denial of your own truth. That's what's happening now. This is what this 11 is bringing. It's what this month brings. You get to choose distraction-free time. And this is actually really important, especially when we get into some of the astrology, is to choose to take that time to sit in the comfort or the discomfort of the silence, uninterrupted. Are you willing? And ultimately, this month is about doing your work. So those of you who have played with me for a long time know that work is a 4-letter word in my world. So I'm going to change that into, are you being present to what it is you know has to change, to what it is you know is complete for you? Are you willing to forgive, to heal, to be so self-sovereign and so self-assessing that you are choosing to no longer live within an illusion of your own reality and own expression? That is doing the work, if you will. It's becoming who it is that you know you're to be at soul level. So the astrology and numerology kind of combined. We move into the 11-1. The first day initiates the 1-1-1. The one being the beginning of all things, right? The one is the one. It is the light of all things. It's the new beginning. It's the fresh start. It is the pivot of all. So when we have these number codes coming in the 3, it also brings in the number of the 3, which is about getting creative. It's the holy trine, the body, mind, spirit, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Holy Ghost. It's the culmination of all the aspects and expressions of being into the one, into the oneness of all that is. It's also the Day of the Dead, and so it marks the thinning of the veils between the worlds, so that your capacity to connect both to your higher self, to your ancestors, to your beloveds who are through the veils increases exponentially. So you can go there to get information, to find resolve, to find peace, to let go, to move forward. It gives you this amazing opportunity to connect the worlds through the thinning of the veil. On the 2nd of November, Mercury completes. So Mercury has gone direct a few weeks ago, but it's in a shadow. And on the 2nd, the shadow is complete. So Mercury positions itself absolutely direct. And that gives you this opportunity, like you'll feel momentum, you'll feel communication coming back online. If you felt like you've been stuck in the pause, you're not alone. And we're learning to surrender into that pause and to trust. Right? So you might feel that shift of momentum where you're like, I'm going to go do the thing. And there's nothing else I would rather do than the thing. And people are also in a space for greater communion, community, communication, collaboration. On the 4th, we move into the Scorpio new moon and things get real. It gets real quiet. Scorpio bringing that energy, that deep emotion, that deep kind of activated emotion to the table. And this is where it gets really important. Are you willing to sit with yourself in the silence, distraction free? So we can, in this world where we have an 8-second attention span, right? We have been programmed through outside stimulation down to an 8-second attention span. And one of our greatest opportunities, and maybe your greatest challenge, is to sit in the silence. Can you sit in the silence, in the void of the dark Scorpio moon on the 4th? Get really quiet. Put down your phone. Can you do it for 5 minutes? Can you do it for 30 minutes? Can you be it for an hour? That is the day that I challenge you to sit in the silence and move beyond the discomfort of it, to find your true north, to find the truth of what is shaking you at the core, what is unresolved at your core emotionally that must come to the surface through your silence in order to be reconciled, so that you may be free to then move into your greatest service. Are you willing? 1111 brings the 1111 portal. It is the great cosmic alignment of the year. This day is a significant sequence of number codes that come in. Everything comes towards you. Whatever this sensation has been of pause or of sticky energy, it's like the great, like the temple gates open. And you can move into a space of greater receiving and greater culmination of your desires, your dreams of not just this year, but they're saying going back 11 months, 11 years. What are you dreaming? Who are you becoming? The gateway is profound that opens. And it's going to carry you through to the 1212 and then to the 1221, which is a significant portal this year. And we'll get to that as the days and weeks unfold. On 11/19, we are met with the Taurus full moon partial eclipse. So begins the eclipse season. And what you can expect is it's part of this rapid transformation, these unexpected sharp left turns and sharp right turns. And I know many of us, me included, have been experiencing significant sharp turns to our experience of where we thought, oh, we're going here. And we're like, whoa, now you're going there. So it requires presence and a willingness to be uncomfortable to find a greater comfort than perhaps you've ever experienced. So this full moon, they're saying it's practice. It's that you've been in this practice, and now is the practical application of really sitting in the full bright light of your truth, to be and to ground it to earth as Taurus brings this earth energy in. So sudden shifts, transformation, rapid right and left turns, realizations, right? Seeing, realizing, realizations, sensations of seeing the truth within you that you cannot deny, and you must begin to act upon it. It's twists of fate. It's another wild ride. And then the 11/20/21, we move into the sun, moves into Sagittarius, moves into the sun, and we move into the Sagittarian season begins. Sagittarius season begins. That's a tongue twister. So you might feel a sense of renewed focus, desire and ambition comes back online. This kind of like back on pulse, back on purpose, which has been a real opportunity or challenge over these last few months, at least in my experience and those that I'm communing with around me. But we're leaving Scorpio waters and we're moving into the fire, and forward movement, forward momentum. The word that wanted to come through that was fearless. Are you willing to be fearless in your forward movement towards fruition, to your soul's truth, into greater creation? So there's 3 words that wanted to come through this month to support you in really honoring, optimizing, and co-creating with November's energies. I want to premise them all by saying that presence also wanted to be brought to the table, but presence is it's the first part of the book that I'm writing. To all things, you must first be present. So optimize these moon sequences to find your connection to presence, to find the silence in the inner wisdom, to activate your inner wisdom, to sit in your inner wells of your truth, so that then these other energies can optimize at the highest level to move through you, to move you through to this new earth, to be in your greatest service as the divine creator of light that you are. That's why you're here. Number 1 is surrender. You have to hand it all over. You have to let it go. You must hand it all over. You have to surrender to your higher truth. You have to surrender over your expectations, your disappointments, the things you could perhaps perceive to be failures, which are really, truly only reorganizations leading you towards the lighter path. You must surrender everything that is no longer for you over. It's been the theme for a while, and now it's louder. So no stone gets left unturned. You must surrender it over. Seek was number 2. Seek from the inner lens that you can only see when you sit upon the silence. Not seeking outside, looking outside to find something that shows a mirror to show you who you are. You see who you are through the lens and reflection of your third eye, which is that inner lens seeking. And as they say, what you are seeking is always seeking you. So the truth of your soul's wisdom is seeking to commune with you from the inner plane, right? So you must find the silence through the chaos to remember who you are. Everything wants to come to your remembrance, everything within you and everything outside of you as well. But now is the moment to choose. Number 3 is satisfy. Honor thyself, satisfaction. It's like taking the steps, they were saying, to do the things, right? To satisfy that craving, to satisfy that desire, to satisfy who you're becoming, to satisfy that need, to satisfy. Satiating self is honoring of self. in ways that are healthy, abundant, and that serve you and the collective at the highest level. So surrender, seek, satisfy. Those are your play in this game of life this month. And the biggest takeaway from this month is to be really present, to optimize what spirit and the universe is gifting you, especially through these portals of the Fool and the dark, the void moon and the full moon this month. Can you sit in the silence, get distraction free, move through any discomfort, and find your truest light? I'm sending so much love to your light. I'm honored to walk this path with you. We are doing this. Holy, holy moly. It is such a wild ride, but we're doing it. We rise together as one, as we usher in the dawn of the light of the new earth. And you, my friend, are a significant piece of that. Have a wonderful November. I love you. Bye for now.